Thanks for joining us on the Hot to Cold Mechanical YouTube channel. I'm Trevor, and this is Ameen. He is the owner of Hot to Cold Mechanical. And today we are going to be talking about what makes Hot to Cold Mechanical different from other contractors.
For sure.
We'll start off with a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. When you give joy to other people, you get more joy in return. You should give a good thought to happiness that you can give out. That's a nice thought for the day. I think you should take that one and see how you can give some joy to somebody else today. I know you do that all the time because you come in and you tell people, hey, you don't need to buy that. We can buy this instead because it's a much better product. It's going to serve you better and it's not going to cost you as much. So I know you're a straight shooter.
Here to help the customers.
That's right. So now let's talk a little bit about Hot to Cold, how you got started, when you got started, and the reason behind it.
Well, I got started back in 2018 because of the simple fact that I just couldn't take pressure when it was definite being that you could not show your best. Okay, working against other people or working with other people, okay, it was like working against other people if you did your best. Okay, you can never show your best. There was a lot of there's so much competition in this trade, okay, that it just gets annoying. Okay, especially in the refrigeration side of this world, it gets sickening.
So that doesn't make any sense. So you'd be penalized for just doing your best. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense to me either because of the simple fact that if people had to keep up with you, they wanted to kill you. You know, and the fact that that's proof there's a lot of people out there for the paycheck. Okay, and there's people out there with dedication, with pride, and self-respect enough to want to give their all. And if I'm that way, I had to put that work away for over 5 years in my pockets because I had been backstabbed too many times. And I said to myself, that's enough. I'll just say, after receiving respect from one company, and I built the Mayfair building on 109th and Jasper as the mechanical foreman, and definitely did the 30-story tower, Hendrick Tower, just up the hill. I built both those buildings and felt great because you actually, when you had respect, you were like, it's amazing how the mind changes completely. And everything was just coming out of my head without, no pressure. Like it was just no thought at all. You had the answer for someone in seconds, and that's the way I want it to be, capable of being. Because when that company went back to Vancouver, because they had nothing left here to do, and I would have retired with them, definitely. After how many companies seeing without respect, okay, it was interesting, okay. But then I'll say to myself the fact that I went right back to work, tried another company, and was right back to the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, it's almost like that. It's unfortunate to say, but that union, mentality where it's like, you just do you do what we do. You do the bare minimum just like us. Otherwise, we don't like you, and we're going to throw you under the bus. I've seen and heard about that many times. Not usually in the private sector, but in the union world, I've heard of it. Definitely. So I can see where that comes from.
The last job was a union job.
Yeah, there you have it, right? So, Ameen, tell us, how is Hot to Cold different than some other mechanical contractors in our area?
Well, what I've seen for what I made for change with my company was just total honesty. There was a lot of upselling from people, and you saw a lot of people even encouraging, unnecessary service. When you were doing furnace repairs and stuff like that, you would be always told to fix this or fix that as well. Okay, if you don't, even if you didn't have to. It was just like, it just got annoying to me. Okay, to be helping people steal from other people. Right. Technically being, even when he went on did preventative maintenances for companies, and they'd tell you where he had learned clearly in this trade how he had to do a preventative maintenance properly for heating and AC, and they wouldn't do it. One last company I worked for definitely was only doing the filters. They'd run up there, flip the filters on all these rooftop units and stuff on this commercial building, and then I'd ask them, okay, so what are we going to do with the AC? What are we doing with the AC? What are we doing with the heat? Don't worry about it. Just open it up and they'll look. If it's burning, close the door. I'm like, that's not preventative maintenance. Right. So it was just getting a little pathetic.
So either overselling service to people that didn't need it, or kind of like the mechanic goes under the hood and kind of shakes some things around and says, oh, well, did you know that this was not working and this is not working, and just doing unnecessary repairs. And then also, if people have a service contract not doing the work, those are both two horrible things. It does happen. I mean, not saying that every company is like that, but it does happen out there, folks. And that's why he wanted to do something different and be different in the area. Now, tell me how you treat your customers.
I treat my customers like best friends. They got to be, from me to the point being where they want to come back. I keep them as best friends, and I'll always treat them as if I was going to be treating myself. When it comes to what you need and what you're going to get, it's only going to be what I'd be willing to give myself. And that's what I definitely stamp my work with.
Right. So always the whole motto of do unto others as you would have done unto you kind of thing. Yeah. And that's always a good way to go about your business, is like thinking about the other person, as if you're how you would want to be treated. Yes. That's perfect. I love that. Now, the next thing here is customers. Why do you say that your customers come first?
Well, my customers come first because of the simple being that when you see that people and a lot of other companies I've seen with my own eyes keep themselves first, and where they will actually, try to make as much money possible, right. And or take in as much they can from these companies. Now, or for these companies, I should say. Yeah. But the fact that I would not want to see that, I would always give people what was best for them, not best for me.
Right.
Okay. There was one example actually, and it'll be up on my website soon. But the fact that I had built a new system for somebody completely. Yeah. I went into the house. They had 2 furnaces in there, and that was back in the old days when there was a lot of overkill, where they would cut the houses right in half, and then they switch it to basements and main floors. Yeah. But there was a time when it was 50-50 down the middle, and you had 2 furnaces in the house. Now, when you had those 2 furnaces in the house, you had actual 2 thermostats in the house as well. So when those furnaces were not running equally, you always had an unequal temperature in that home.
Right.
This person wanted to change his furnaces. There was 3 of the biggest names that came in, and we're still selling 2 furnaces to this person.
Right.
And I'm like, why do you want to do that? I said to him, why don't we take these 275,000 BTU furnaces out of here, and I'll give you a 100,000 BTU for this house, which is all you need for the size of this home. Yeah. We'll take all the ducting, all your return airs and supply airs, and just connect them into one system and bring them down to that 1 furnace. And he got it for $4,000 less than anybody else's 2 furnaces. Now you can see exactly why they wanted to sell the furnace.
Yeah.
And that man now says he couldn't believe the difference in his home and how much more that air was balanced, and he had never felt that way in that home before. And that's what I wanted to do.
There you go. That's just one example of putting the customers first, and not, just going with, the status quo, but actually thinking about the job and thinking about how it's going to affect that family, that homeowner. So, Ameen, if you can tell me, what is the most important thing that you want people to know about your work?
The most important thing I want people to know about my work is the simple fact that it's going to be work that they will not regret. Okay, work that's going to be guaranteed. Okay, and if there's ever a callback, okay, when there was other companies on callbacks, they still wrote the bill for it. My callbacks, if I did it and it happens again, which is very rare, okay, that's why I put a guarantee on my work. Okay, if I ever go back and it's the same problem again, you will not pay.
That's amazing. That is not only amazing, it's something that's unheard of in the industry. And, to say that you would come back and you'd fix it on your own dime, on your own time, just goes to show folks that you have extreme confidence in your work abilities and in the equipment that you install.
That's exactly it. And it's also self-respect. If I've got to eat it once in a while, I'm definitely willing to swallow it. Because I don't want to have any chance of looking bad in any way.
Right. So that's why you do things differently, and that's why you should consider using hot to cold mechanical for any of your needs. Couldn't be even a hot water tank that needs replacing, or if you need a boiler system put in, or if you're looking for a furnace, AC, any of that kind of stuff. Ameen stands behind his work 100%. Now, what are your plans for expanding and growing?
For expansion, it's going to be more so just to find people that can keep up with my ways of doing things. That's going to be my most important thing, is to find people that are willing to take that quality, okay, that I have to offer, and be trained upon it, okay, and learning how to do these things this way, okay. And it's the fact that there are people out there, but they're hard to find. I want to find these guys that can actually understand how I want things done, because as if I was there and I did it myself. is going to be what it's got to be. Because hot to cold mechanical is going to be like Ameen's hands are there, no matter when and or who is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to build a team of good people around you who will do the same level of work as you, so that you can stand behind that guarantee.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
That's awesome. I love that. Now, tell us a little bit about your emergency calls. How do you respond to emergency calls?
Now, the emergency calls are always definite, considered emergency. Like, it doesn't matter when that call's made, we will always come up and jump. Okay, and there's like even people that had written reviews last year, and one lady was even commenting how she called how many companies on New Year's Eve and couldn't find anybody. And that was her number one comment on that review, actually, was the simple fact that Ameen was the only one that came, and he answered and was there within a half an hour.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's just it. You see, if it's an emergency, and it was actually in our, I do believe that was our cold rush, when we had that 20s coming near those 30s in January. And her furnace was down, but I definitely made sure she had it. Even she called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I still went and made damn sure it was working.
There you have it.
And it's to get that because you know damn well what you're only going to get back for it. So why would you say no to it? And I have no, how would you say, hesitation to get up and help people if they need it. Like I said, their family.
There you go. So emergency call outs, I mean, he's going to come, going to, service you. It doesn't matter what time, even if it's 3 in the morning on New Year's Eve, he's there. Now, tell me about your guarantee. How do you go about, guaranteeing your work? A little bit more detail.
Guaranteeing the work is probably saying that I will always make sure by testing these systems and confirming proper and perfect operation. Many people will just put those parts in, take a quick look, and leave it at that. But for me, it's proper operation tested from top to bottom to be sure I'm not coming back, and or be sure that you've done it right the first time. That way, I can be sure that guarantee is there. And for all the callbacks I've even seen when I work for other companies, they're still counted on 2 hands.
So tell me that number. How many callbacks have you seen with hot to cold?
With hot to cold, I think I have only seen 1 in 4 years.
1 callback in 4 years. So that's how you can stand behind, the guarantee and even offer that. And that to me shows that, it's not just about guaranteeing the work and guaranteeing the stuff, but it's actually taking the time to make sure it's done correctly and tested before you leave, not just running out of the house and saying, okay, on to the next one. See you later, guys.
Not at all.
Because then you get the callbacks, right?
That's exactly
Callbacks are money sucks on your business.
People do it on purpose just to say, well, and or maybe not on purpose, but just that quick work to see if we come back, good for me.
Sign up for my service contract. Now, how has word of mouth worked for you so far?
Actually, word of mouth has been amazing. I have to admit, I've been very satisfied and very, very, pleased from what I'm getting from other people. As a matter of fact, just installing these AC systems in the last month, I must have had at least near 10 that were by word of mouth.
Well, that's really good.
The fact that people are coming at me, and as soon as they can see the quality that I could never show before, and that's again when the piping and so forth and so on is laser straight and so forth. When people see this quality, it's not hard to see quality work and hard work. Okay, and then when they see it, they were actually showing it as well. And the fact that I'm not taking, these 300 to up to 300% that people are taking on markup. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm building the company. Okay, I'm not trying to race into that lead. Okay, it's not necessary. It's just to build a firm, solid company at this time and get to that point. Using word of mouth is only going to be your best advertising anyway. So why would you not want it?
Yeah, the best thing that you can receive from someone is a review saying that you did a really great job and kind of putting that out there as social proof, but then also telling friends, family, neighbors about the good work. That shows that's a testament to yourself and your company and what you're trying to accomplish out there.
Pretty much.
So there you have it, guys. That's why Hot to Cold Mechanical is so different, and how Ameen has set up the company's values to be more customer centric as opposed to just going after the money. Even though money is important, That's not the main motivation. The main motivation is making sure that he can use his knowledge, understanding, and skills to help homeowners, help business owners get the best service and best products into their hands. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you guys on the next video.
For sure.